The Great Escape, 20 years and a God-given fortune. The desert wind, usually a familiar companion, felt like a whip against Jacob's face. 20 years, 2 decades of ceaseless toil, of scorching sun and biting frost, tending Laban's flocks. 20 years since he had fled his brother Esau, arriving at this very land, a fugitive with nothing but a staff. Now he was a man of immense wealth, but a wealth born not just of his own shrewdness, but of relentless exploitation. Laban. The name itself tasted like ash in Jacob's mouth. 7 years for Rachel, then 7 more for Leah, tricked into marrying the elder sister. And after that, 6 more years of relentless haggling over wages, of Laban changing his terms 10 times over, each time seeking to strip Jacob of his rightful earnings. Jacob had seen the change in Laban's eyes, the deepening resentment in his sons' faces. The whispers had reached him. Jacob has taken all that was our father's. He stood under the vast, star-strewn Mesopotamian sky, the air thick with the bleating of his immense flocks, now truly his flocks, miraculously multiplied by God's hand, despite Laban's schemes. The speckled, the spotted, the striped, everyone a testament to divine favor. But the abundance offered no peace. The tension in Laban's household was a coiled serpent, ready to strike. Just as despair threatened to consume him, a voice, clearer than the desert night, echoed in his soul. It was the Lord, the God of his fathers, the very God who had met him at Bethel. "Return to the land of your fathers and to your kindred, and I will be with you." The words were a lifeline, a command, a promise. Jacob didn't hesitate. He summoned Leah and Rachel, his beloved wives, to the field where his flocks grazed, away from the prying eyes of Laban's household. Their faces, usually gentle, were etched with a weariness that mirrored his own. "I see your father's countenance, that it is not favorable toward me as before," Jacob began, his voice low, urgent. "But the God of my father has been with me. You know that I have served your father with all my might. Yet your father has deceived me and changed my wages 10 times, but God did not allow him to hurt me." He recounted the miraculous interventions, how God had protected his flocks, how every scheme of Laban to impoverish him had been turned into Jacob's gain. "Thus God has taken away the livestock of your father and given them to me." He spoke of the angel of God in a dream, confirming his unique God-given method of breeding and the divine command to return. Leah and Rachel, daughters of Laban yet loyal to their husband, listened with growing understanding. "Is there still any portion or inheritance for us in our father's house?" Rachel asked, bitterness lacing her voice. "Are we not considered strangers by him? For he has sold us and also completely devoured our money. For all the riches which God has taken from our father, that is ours and our children's. Now then, whatever God has said to you, do it." Their assent was a seal on the divine command. The decision was made. Under the cloak of night, a sense of urgency propelled them. The vast encampment stirred to life with hushed movements. Camels were loaded, tents struck, and the immense flocks began their slow, deliberate journey westward. Jacob, with his wives, children, and all his possessions, a testimony to God's unfathomable blessing, slipped away, unseen, unheard by Laban. Rachel, with a bold and desperate defiance, secreted away her father's household idols, a final symbolic severing of ties. 3 days they traveled, pushing hard, driven by the fear of Laban's wrath. Then, the alarm sounded. Laban, discovering his loss, his fury incandescent, gathered his kinsmen and pursued them, 7 days of relentless chase across the desert. Finally, on the mountains of Gilead, Laban's dust-choked company appeared on the horizon. The air crackled with a palpable tension. Laban, his face contorted with rage, confronted Jacob. "What have you done, that you have stolen away unknown to me and carried away my daughters like captives taken with the sword?" He accused Jacob of theft, of deceit, of stealing his household gods. Jacob, though fearful, stood his ground. "Because I was afraid, for I said, lest you should take your daughters from me by force." "But why did you steal my gods?" he countered, unaware of Rachel's act. A tense search ensued. Rachel, with cunning born of necessity, hid the idols in her camel's saddle and sat upon them, feigning illness. The search yielded nothing. Then Jacob's pent-up frustration of 20 years exploded. "What is my trespass? What is my sin that you have so hotly pursued me? Though you have searched all my things, what have you found of all your household belongings? Set it here before my brethren and your brethren, that they may judge between us both. These 20 years I have been with you. Your ewes and your female goats have not miscarried, and I have not eaten the rams of your flock. What was torn by beasts I did not bring to you, I bore the loss of it. From my hand you demanded it, whether stolen by day or stolen by night. There I was. In the daytime the heat consumed me, and the frost by night, and my sleep departed from my eyes. Thus I have been with you 20 years in your house. I served you 14 years for your 2 daughters, and 6 years for your flock, and you have changed my wages 10 times. His voice rose, filled with righteous indignation. Unless the God of my father, the God of Abraham, and the fear of Isaac had been with me, surely now you would have sent me away empty-handed. God has seen my affliction and the labor of my hands, and rebuked you last night." Laban, confronted by the truth and the clear evidence of divine intervention, could not deny it. He had pursued Jacob with malicious intent, but God had intervened. In a dream the previous night, God himself had warned Laban, "Be careful that you speak to Jacob neither good nor bad." Humbled and recognizing the hand of God, Laban the deceiver was forced to make peace. They set up a pillar, a heap of stones, a witness between them, Mizpah, meaning, "The Lord watch between you and me when we are absent one from another." The air, once charged with hostility, now held a fragile truce. They shared a meal on the mountain, a covenant of peace. And as the morning sun painted the eastern sky, Laban rose, embraced his daughters and grandchildren, and with a final defeated blessing, turned and departed, returning to his own land. Jacob watched him go, the weight of 20 years lifting from his shoulders. He was free, free from deceit, free from exploitation. He had left with nothing, and now, by the manifest blessing of God, he was returning a mighty nation in miniature, a testament to enduring faith and divine faithfulness. The road ahead was uncertain, with the looming threat of Esau, but Jacob knew, with a certainty that resonated deep within his bones, that the God who had delivered him from Laban would surely be with him still. His journey continued, not as a fugitive, but as a man blessed and protected by the Almighty.
The story of Jacob in Genesis 31 offers powerful encouragement for anyone facing exploitation from a superior. Despite years of being cheated and manipulated by Laban, God intervened, demonstrating his ability to deliver a person from an unjust employer. Just as he commanded Jacob to return home and supernaturally blessed his flocks, God can restore years of losses, turning disadvantage into abundance. Furthermore, by warning Laban in a dream, God actively defended Jacob, proving he stands as an unwavering protector for his own. Jacob's journey is a testament that God sees injustice, delivers from oppression, restores what was lost, and defends his children, promising breakthrough and justice in his perfect timing. No matter how long you have waited, just believe that God is never late and he will show up for you. Your season of being oppressed is about to end. Your new season is here in Jesus' name.